Hello, John here, and I'm on my way to Cork to a burial ground there. I have a meeting and just passing Midleton, so I called into St. Joseph Cemetery. East Cork Golf Club is over that direction, and this burial ground is on a junction. I'm wondering if that's the original gate with a later addition, so that wheeled cross. You can see it's bolted on there, but this iron looks quite good, and they potentially original features. Double gate like that, so it could be big beech tree right underneath it, so I think that's could be late 1800s maybe. But just you come inside, then there's a nice white marble cross, donated Holy Year 1950, so nicely done. So that has parallels with Pulla over in Dungarvan Workhouse, where the big cross in there relates to the Holy Year as well. And then when we come in, there's something else over here. That bush is planted, and then St. Joseph Cemetery, erected in memory of those 1847-49. And those, through force of circumstance, had no other resting place. Isn't that nice? Those, through force of circumstance, had no other resting place. The paupers' graveyard. The sun is coming out now. So I had a look at her last night. She measures something like 65 meters by 55. There's these seats that have been put in on little concrete platforms. There's a couple of Lawsons or something like that planted over there. Sometimes planted to mirror the Festigiata sport of the Irish U. They can go crazy, but these ones look like they're okay. I see there's potentially another dead beech tree there, or a beech tree. It looks, I'll have a look at what species he is. But for now, up in this corner, I think we have grave hollows here. How do I draw that? So there. Potentially here. Yeah, so I'm seeing regular single graves here in this corner. Like that would be the most pronounced one there. And if we go into the centre, then it's very well kept, you can tell. Yeah, look, there's all hollows here. Like when you're in a known burial ground, you're looking for these deeper swatches of these hollows, which has a slightly longer grass in. The lawnmower just doesn't get down into it, and as a result, it stands out. I'd say there was a fourth or fifth seat there, but that's gone. You can hear the golf, the lads are playing golf, and lads and ladies are playing golf over that direction. There's some kind of a wee mound here, grave there maybe, and then the mound is here, there. So I don't know what that's doing. This seems to be in a central location, so maybe there was a cross or something there formerly. Looking back over now, you can see potential graves there and beyond. Yeah, so I think we've a regular, so this burial ground, well, the workhouse is Midleton, and it's about 1.5 kilometres over that direction, and it was one of those early 1840s ones. So if this was open for the famine, they converted buildings in the workhouse in the time of the famine for extra people, to accommodate extra people. So this could well be a burial ground at times, or that was open and used during the Great Famine. As I look up here now, I'm seeing all single graves, and I'm seeing rows of single graves. So we're here on this side, so kind of rows going that way. Try and get him drawn again. Clear. Draw. So this is easier to read than yesterday over in Kilmac, and it's more akin to what we were seeing over in Kilkenny. Rows of single graves. More pronounced here now in this corner. There's deep here now. Deep, big. What I'm trying to see, could potentially we have common graves, so the ones that had multiple coffins put in them rather than single use or shallow ones. There seems to be slightly more upcast down this side, or potential upcast. I suppose elsewhere we've been looking at banks left between the grave cuts. And now when I think of it, then we're potentially looking at upcast too. So there could be mounds of soil left from the grave digging. Like a lot of that, you'd expect that they would mound it up on top of the grave, so as the coffin sank, the soil sinks back into the grave. It just seems more pronounced over where I am now, over in this corner. Big beech trees here, oak tree, this lad who's kind of suffering. I thought he looked like a beech from over yonder. Yeah. So he's a beech, but he's unwell. All right, so this is one of the easier ones to read anyway that I've seen so far. Looks to me like the whole thing is pitted with regular rows of graves. Yeah, as I look back down now, it's all there. Oh, there's a little grave here. There's an inscribed headstone and then a footstone opposite. Ellen Riley, 1890, age 30 years, R.I.P. And the footstone with a simple inscribed cross, painted and curbed. So I'm not sure how I would introduce a potential phasing here, just at a guess. Maybe we're seeing earlier burials down in that corner. Maybe there's more upcast, maybe there's larger graves, maybe common graves. I can't see anything that looks like a linear trench. And then elsewhere, I think it's rows of single graves, even here. I'm just trying to, it looks different when you, even here we're looking at graves. So I just have a meeting now, I better, yeah. And come here, yeah. Okay. So Midleton Workhouse Burial Ground up in Broomfield, St. Joseph's it's called. Nicely looked after. Again, thinking about it, it's, if you can do it in a respectful manner, it's a contender for a less mow type of, if we could get a meadow going in here. Now, I don't think committees that look after these places would be sympathetic to that. I mean, they like, I think it feels more respectable to some people too, or more respectful to actually keep it cut so short, you know, and You have to respect that. And here we are on the boundary. Look at that. All beech and beech saplings, self-seeded. Boundary wall over there, boundary wall over there, boundary wall over there. Yeah, so I think there's a boundary wall on all four sides. Just realised I'm supposed to be heading to a meeting, so I better go. If I then had to say, okay, here's another corner where there seems to be more pronounced grave hollows and maybe banks between, then it's in here too. So potentially we're seeing the far corner and this corner as a testable hypothesis, maybe with earlier burials, and then in between we're just seeing rows and rows of the later burials from the workhouse, from unclaimed people, unclaimed. All right, I'll go so. Peaceful and quiet, and the traffic's not there. Slán.